Hi everyone, this is Gavin from gavinsgadgets.com. Hope you're keeping well. And today I'm going to give you my first impressions about the iPhone X, the sort of pros and cons I've already discovered. And they are slightly different to what I thought they might be by watching other people's videos and drawing early conclusions of actually holding and seeing the device. I'm also going to give a little quick comparison between the Pixel 2 that I have here, and I'm recording this on the Note 8, so I will talk how these varies between the three different devices as well. Let's go and have a closer look, and I'll give you my opinions as we talk along. Okay, so as you can see, I've fully set up my iPhone X. I did it from scratch, so I did it as a new phone, and I've got all the apps in here all completely configured, and I'll quickly run through some of the bits and pieces. Let's sit there so you can see what I've done. I haven't put any games on yet because I just want to do them one by one and just see how all that sort of transpires. What I have realised is that the Face ID unlock, there was absolutely no concern for doing that. Very quick to set up, and after when you use it naturally in real life, you realise that as you're swiping up to unlock it, it's actually done your face unlock at the same time. And also then when you're looking at it, when I was setting all these apps up from scratch, it was using the face unlock as I was opening the app to enter my details automatically, so it was faster. The only time that I found face unlock a bit difficult is when I go to press somewhere here and it's like, oh, I need to aim it up to unlock it. That is the only time. I've also used the double press and try up 2 transactions now in Apple Pay. I didn't quite get it right, the double press, but I did manage to use both transactions, so that worked really well. I've also set this up with my watch, and that's working quite nicely. I'll show you some photos in a minute. I've used the GPS, and actually instead of using Google Maps, which hasn't been updated to fit the screen properly, I used Apple Maps, and I was quite surprised at how detailed and good the maps looked, and it did use the whole sort of screen. If I just tap here, in terms of ears up here, that hasn't really been a problem, and this space here, you do just get used to it. That's one thing I did think would annoy me, but it doesn't. What does annoy me is to see the bring that a bit nearer. To see the battery percentage, you actually need to, it's not visible, you have to pull down to see the actual percentage, and I do find that a bit frustrating. Now, in terms of the Animoji stuff, it is really is quite good fun, and as you can see, I've saved them to the camera roll and I've sent them as WhatsApp messages, so that does work really well. I have used the camera as well, so if we have a look at some of the photos from this, just turn that around so you can see. Actually, what I might do with this, because I turned the brightness down a bit, let's just, as you see, the control sensor is not quite where I expect it to be. It's almost there, but that is getting used to it. But here, if you look at some of the photos, and if we expand, you can see really lovely quality photos. Here's another shot, as you can see. Again, they are really nice. This is a panoramic shot from the same space, so I love the finish and the quality detail. Indoors in a shopping centre, that looks pretty nice. Quite impressed. Here's a flower. I was messing around with a number of these, trying it different ways. That's the 2x zoom. It's not too bad at all. What else did I take? Quite a few of those flowers. So, where are we? So here, this is a view down a high street, Cornwall Street in Plymouth, and using the 2x zoom, and you've got quite a decent amount of detail in that. That's actually really impressive. Did also have used the portrait mode. I have done some low light tests and sort of mixed results here. This is the Duke of Cornwall Hotel in Plymouth. It was dark. There's a bit of lighting that the hotel has to shine on the thing, and it's quite interesting because I also had my Pixel 2 with me, and that sort of overexposes slightly, makes it brighter. Personally, I prefer the Pixel 2, but quite a few people this morning were sort of debating whether it was better or not. And obviously you've got some friends, you've got some portrait lighting which works fairly well. Sometimes it's a hit and miss, but there we have it. In terms of the gestures, that was one thing that getting used to. But again, it's pretty easy, and you're not having to actually lift that much. It is tiny, so you can actually just flick such a small amount, and it actually works really well. I've used the GPS, it locks very securely onto the GPS. I've noticed the signal was particularly good in the places that I've tried it versus other phones, so that's nice. And overall, some of the incompatibilities, they do exist. Most of the apps use the full screen, some don't, so I haven't been updated like Google Maps, but Apple Maps was fine. That worked really well. And it's just a question of waiting for some of these apps to be updated. And if we have a look today, there's one app update. If we force the refresh, just the one will update that while that's going on in the background. But overall, it's quite surprising. The Face ID works very well. Gestures are fine. The camera's quite good. It's got a number of different modes I need to explore in a lot more detail. I've taken some very nice shots on it. This is the space grey. I've seen the silver. I don't like the silver. And I just need to get my face there. Yep, underneath. And again, even though I've got the camera in front of it, I just dipped it slightly so you can see my face, and it unlocked pretty well. Face ID is very nice, I've got to say. This screen is very nice. I have also got the Pixel 2 and the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, so if you've got any questions or anything, what's the difference between this and one of those two devices, please do feel free to ask. I will answer all your questions. This is Gavin from gavinsgadgets.com. Catch you guys soon. Bye for now.